This program was made possible by matching funds from the Leopold Center for Sustainable Agriculture at Iowa State University and the Agricultural Marketing Resource Center in cooperation with IDEA, Information Development Expanding Awareness, and Iowa State University Extension. By now, you've learned that creating a total wine package is key to success in developing a winery business in the Midwest. As you do your research and build your knowledge base, you also need to plan your marketing strategy.
To market your Midwestern winery, you probably need to determine how to distinguish yourself from the competition. Our Midwestern wine industry is not as well developed as many other regions of the world, and so probably what you need to do is determine how to be different from your competition. Although a lot of our wineries are beginning to win both local, regional, and national competitions, that strategy of being better than the competition may take a few more years for some of our wineries to achieve. So what you may want to do is determine how can you be different from your competition to attract your customers.
This is where the total wine package concept plays a critical role in today's wine industry, and why you need to plan your marketing in the first stages of exploring your opportunities.
Have you really thought about the market niche that you want to capture for your winery? Are you maybe trying to attract the wine novice, or are you going to try to cater to the connoisseur? Maybe you have a location that lends itself really well for weddings or for retreats. Some wineries are finding that it works very well and effectively to market events such as perhaps grape stomping, live entertainment at night or on the weekends, or hay rides. One thing you want to make sure that you try to do as you market your winery is to create for your visitor a very unique experience and events that they'll remember you from.
If you identify your strategy before you begin production, you'll know what part of the wine business is right for you and why.
Well, the nursery business kind of evolved as an afterthought to the vineyard. I saw that everything that we raised in Iowa, as far as grapes were concerned, were being imported from mostly from New York, some from Michigan, and some from Missouri, but for the most part they were all coming out of someplace far away. And I saw a need for it here in Iowa because of the rapid expansion of the vineyard acreage in Iowa, so I thought I'd give it a try and see where it went.
If you choose to go into grape production but decide you're not ready to start your own winery, know the potential market for your product.
Well, probably the biggest thing for any new grower to consider before they ever put a grape in the ground is what they're going to do with those grapes after they're mature. Go to the wineries, talk to those people. If you have a winery close by, talk to those folks, see if they're going to be in the market for grapes, and if so, what grapes they anticipate needing. It's a little difficult because you have to look out about 3 years to know what you're going to be looking for. But that's probably the most important thing that any grower is going to encounter is what he's going to do with those grapes. If he's going to have his own winery, that's fine. You know, he can make his decisions on his own that way. But otherwise, talk to a winery, see what they're going to need.
An effective marketing plan includes knowing the trends in the wine industry and how they relate to your targeted customers.
Midwest Winery's marketing challenge is to create a product that has something new and different than what the traditional wine product might have that would come from some other part of the country. It's important that you try and produce something that first is that tastes good, and second has a uniqueness to it that is specific to your area, your region, some ambiance to it that makes people want to come and consume that wine. Now, Iowa, or the Midwest in general, the consumption per capita of wine is much lower than the rest of the country, so you're going to have to convert them to want to consume your product. And to do that, you're going to need to have something unique about that product that will want them to come to your winery time after time to consume your product.
Working with retailers is another way for winemakers to sell their product. Visiting with potential retailers will help you shape your business plan.
You know, when we first started to buy Midwest wines, we did it as just to make sure we had a novelty. You know, people were in looking for wines from Iowa. I think the quality of those wines have really increased in the last 3 or 4 years. I think one of the biggest challenges to Midwest winemakers is there's a negative opinion of Midwestern wines. I think once we get over that aspect of people thinking those wines aren't very good, I think we'll have a better shot at it. I think it's more psychological than it is in physical taste. I think what our winemakers need to do here in the state of Iowa or in the Midwest in general is not really concentrate as much on the sweet wines. I think they need to look at doing drier wines or more food-suited wines. And that seems to be the way that people's tastes and nutritions go in wines. You first start drinking wine, you tend to drink sweeter wines. As you enjoy wine more, you tend to understand and can appreciate the drier styles of wines as you go through. I think that's something that most of the winemakers really need to look at. Dry wines with consistency and complexity.
Many wine marketers believe a label is almost as important as the product itself. Your label tells your personal story and detailed information about your wine, and all labels should include specific information you need as you develop your marketing plan.
If you walk into a shop, a wine shop or a grocery store, if people don't know your wine, they're going to walk down and look for something that interesting. They'll pull it down and look at it and read the label. My label says basically the same thing on every label. Produced by Somerset Winery on the rolling hills south of Des Moines, and I hope you enjoy this fine Iowa product. We have a nice logo. It says, you know, Somerset. It's a nice, enjoyable product that is something that you can relate to. If you can go to the winery, you can relate to it more, because it is, we tie the whole thing together. Not just the wine and the label, but it's the total package. The Somerset Winery is part of the neighborhood. It is part of enjoying life. It is part of enjoying good wine. And so the label says a lot of things in how it presents itself. We're struggling to make sure that it's everything that is in the competition mode on the shelf, but at the same time relates back to what we do here in Iowa.
There are other revenue opportunities for Midwest winemakers. Creative use of events such as wine tasting classes, dinners, concerts, and even theatrical productions provide marketing opportunities for locally produced products. Consumable items such as bread, cheese, and juices, as well as merchandise promoting your winery, allow you to sell to both the wine drinker and non-alcohol drinking consumers. Production, manufacturing, marketing, and sales. Wine producing and selling involves all facets of the business world. Your understanding of the total wine package will determine your ultimate success in the Midwest wine industry.